the next three, or the last three, they're your core work. They're your front plank, which you put them right here, you put the feet together, a little bit of dorsiflexion, and you try to get them to be nice and try to get them as straight, their back as straight as an arrow. Am I there, Jacob? It's hard to tell when you're there, but if you're not sure, you're probably here. And then you bring them right down here, because you're gonna see a ton of this.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of girls that look like bridges.
See a lot of this. You're gonna see some of this. You put them right here, and you see if they can hold it. You can start out with 30 seconds. If you
all that force is pretty much across. That's a big complaint we have, especially for you on the hardwood. You know, pain in the elbow. So all that force should really be generated through your entire. Disperse it.
Try to bring it all throughout the.
I would just interlock your fingers like in the prayer position, basically about nose height. Your elbow should basically be underneath your, like straight from your shoulders to underneath. I don't want it way up high. And then you want your feet together. And then that looks pretty good. A lot of times when people get tired, I want you to keep your eyes basically at your hands, because what'll happen is you'll start to see people doing this, or they'll look up towards the sky. But that actually looks pretty good. It's just making sure that this all stays level across the top.
Coaches, just make sure that they're not doing this. Make sure that they're trying to keep their hips so they're level. Because don't be doing this, or be doing this.
Most of our problem's been the hump.
They'll be
Having
doing
young
this.
girls that don't
This
like
is
the
what
hump.
they do most of, because
Yeah.
that takes a lot of your strength. That puts your hip flexors. Your hip flexors are working instead of your core.
Right.
You gotta drive them back down right to here.
And where that's important on the floor for you is just like this. Posting somebody up, setting the pick, staying in the defensive stance, somebody trying to shove you to get open. That core, it anchors everything up here and everything from here down. It's at the end of the day, or at the end of the program, but I would say it's probably 1 or 1A exercise-wise for you every day, to make sure that thing is just rock solid, because you don't want to be able to push it around. And that will help improve their athletic performance and prevent injury as well.
So you got your front plank, and you can start off with 30. I mean, we have people in here that can only hold for 10 seconds. So we do 3 sets of 10, and then 2-3 days later, 3 sets of 15 seconds. And then just progress them up. Some of your kids will hold 30 seconds and be basically asleep. Others can't hold 10 seconds. But you're gonna run the gamut. I would start with 3 times 30. Bring them into this position. If they can't hold it, they come down here for just a couple seconds, and then they come right back up. If they can't hold it, instead of doing this, just bring them right here, and come back up. So you do your front plank, and now you're going to do your right plank and your right side plank and your left side plank. And these are your elbow is straight back from your knee here, or straight back from your shoulder here. You're keeping your body straight here. I'm going to come up in position here, put my hand here, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to evert my foot right here to keep from doing the tibial drift. Because this is what they're going to lay on there.
And that's what I was talking about. We got several girls that are doing that.
You want them to bring it out here.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you look straight ahead here, because when you start doing this, that automatically rotates you up. Or if you start doing this,
Yeah, you look at it from the top. I'm gonna put my hand on your belly. You see a lot of them come back, kind of concave your belly, push it right back. That's what you see. You see a lot of them push their hips posterior. So you really want to tell them, I want you like a soldier at attention on the front plank and the side plank. This is the position I want you in. I don't want this or this. See what I mean? So she's holding that. It's not too bad. Just push your hips forward a little more. Yes, stand up real tall. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it engaging those transverse abdominals as soon as you get there.
She started shaking as soon as she got up there,
Yeah.
Whereas before she's a little more comfortable.
Well, and there's, like I said, they're smart. They figure out really quick what's the position of comfort, or where am I the strongest. So that goes back to what you guys both talked about. Hey, they're here like this playing defense. Yeah, because that's where they feel strong. If you get them down when they're lower, because they can't fire, they're not strong enough through their quads or their glutes, they can't maintain the good position. So they're going to get like this. Does that make sense?
don't let them do this. This is bringing them into
That
Retro
bridge again.
Trendelenburg. It's bad motion.
Basically what they're telling is this: hand on your hip and keep that elbow pointed straight towards the sky. That's typically it's a great verbal cue for him to hold. And that's gonna be core. So that's the beauty of all these exercises. You're kind of getting to hit them in different places. So for him, that's abdominal. That's actually scapular stabilization. It's hip strength, and it's eversion strength in that ankle, turning it out. Because most of your ankle injuries are inversion injuries. So if he's strong the other way, it's just gonna go a long way towards stabilizing his ankle.
We go front plank, right side plank, left side plank. Front plank, right side, left side. You can just, right here, front plank, right side, left side. 3 sets, start them with 2 sets of 30, work them up to 3 sets of 30. If they're going from one to the other, it's that's 4.5 minutes, plus whatever your transition time is, would be less than 30 seconds if they're doing it the way I'm doing it. 5 minutes, 5 more minutes worth of core. You're gonna get somewhere between 3 minutes of core and 5 minutes of core. That's the third of your total time on your post-practice exercises. The rest of it, the 10 hops, the 10 ball tosses, the putting your, however fast they can put their cuffs on, down and back on those on your glute med, and then your front plank, side plank, side plank. It's going to take you 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much you want to hit them on the core, and if you do 1 set versus 2 sets. You're going to start on 1 set when you first start them off, because they're not going to be able to tolerate 2 sets. They're going to be able to tolerate 2 sets of this, and 2 sets of this, and 2 sets, down and back. I go 1 rep for the glute med on the bands, down, back. Again, that's fast. It'll take them 45 seconds max to do once they put their cuffs on. Get your cuffs on, go. Line, go, line, go, line, go. Done. Then you put them in front plank position, side plank position, side plank position. Roll 2 or 3 cycles around, and then that's it.
And with that, you wouldn't even have to wait to take the bands off.